Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into some fascinating source material that maps out the sheer power of Canadian domestic travel and the hospitality sector heading into 2026. Look, we all know we're in an era of global market uncertainty right now. Supply chains can be a mess. But amidst all that noise, domestic travel is proving to be this massive, stable economic anchor. For those of us in the B2B space, strategists, corporate leaders, hoteliers, understanding the mechanics here is absolutely crucial. It's not just about tourists on vacation anymore. It's about a foundational pillar of our national economic resilience. So we're going to take a high-level corporate look at exactly why keeping travel and procurement inside our borders is literally one of the most powerful economic levers we have available today.
Okay, let's dive into this. Our agenda today covers 4 key areas. First, the Canadian tourism powerhouse. Second, the economic ripple effect. Third, the local sourcing advantage. And finally, investing in long-term success.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the Canadian tourism powerhouse. Because to really get hospitality strategy, we've got to grasp the sheer macroeconomic scale of this industry first. $124 billion. Let that sink in for a second. That is the annual revenue generated by tourism in Canada. We're talking about a figure that rivals the GDP of entire countries. When we talk about hospitality, we aren't just talking about leisure trips and weekend getaways, we're dealing with a heavyweight industrial sector. Starting with this number instantly grounds us in measurable business reality. It completely demands the attention of investors, policymakers, and corporate leaders, proving beyond a doubt that domestic travel is a massive engine of national wealth.
And right behind that massive revenue is an absolutely staggering human scale. Over 1.1 million jobs supported nationwide. To put that into perspective for you, that's a workforce larger than the entire population of Ottawa. It's a vast interconnected network completely dependent on a thriving travel economy. And keep in mind, these aren't just frontline hospitality workers. This whole shebang encompasses logistics, management, maintenance, corporate roles, you name it. It represents a massive chunk of our national labor market directly tied to whether or not folks choose to travel within our borders.
Moving right along to Section 2, the economic ripple effect. Let's break down how this wealth actually filters down to local communities.
You know the multiplier effect, right? Well, it isn't just some abstract theory you learned back in business school, it's the actual, tangible engine of economic growth across all Canadian sectors. Basically, it means that the initial cash drop by a traveler doesn't just stop at the hotel front desk. That single dollar gets spent and then respent, generating even more economic activity across transportation, agriculture, construction, retail. It's everywhere. The velocity of money in hospitality is exceptionally high, which is exactly why a robust travel season creates such widespread economic momentum.
So, chronologically, here's how it activates, almost instantaneously. Step 1, the guest stays. Step 2, hotels successfully fill their rooms and maximize their yield. Now, because occupancy is high, we hit Step 3. Restaurants and amenities scale up their hiring just to meet the demand. And finally, Step 4. All that newly employed staff, plus the hotel's increased operational demands, means local businesses, everyone from food suppliers to maintenance contractors, start to grow. It's this immediate, self-sustaining ecosystem triggered the second a domestic traveler checks in.
Which brings us to Section 3, the local sourcing advantage. Now we're shifting gears to the strategic operational level. Looking at this from an operational perspective, hospitality is the absolute nucleus of this growth because it sits right smack in the middle of this economic web. The procurement decisions made by individual B2B decision makers and hoteliers carry massive systemic weight. Think about it. Every single time a hotel purchases supplies, they're either leaking revenue out of the country or they're pumping it directly back into this powerful domestic ecosystem. Every choice matters when you're supporting local suppliers and reinforcing regional employment.
And let me be super clear about something. Buying Canadian isn't just some feel-good corporate social responsibility initiative. From a purely strategic standpoint, it is a massive operational advantage that directly protects your bottom line. When you source locally, you get reliability in an era of crazy global supply chain disruptions. You get significantly faster lead times, which means way less capital tied up in excess inventory. And you ensure perfect alignment with rigorous Canadian quality and safety standards. Honestly, it's just better, more efficient business.
The absolutely crucial takeaway here is the feedback loop. There is a direct, undeniable relationship between your procurement strategy and your revenue generation. Buying Canadian strengthens the very local ecosystem that your potential guests live and work in. A stronger local economy Well, that means more businesses traveling for corporate events, and more families with the disposable income to take leisure trips. Sourcing locally ultimately feeds right back into driving your own long-term hotel occupancy. It's kind of a brilliant cyclical investment when you think about it.
All right, let's wrap things up with Section 4, investing in long-term success.
Look, as Canada competes globally for those vital tourism dollars, maintaining exceptionally high standards is just non-negotiable. Our source material points to Omland Hospitality as a prime example of an essential B2B partner in this space. They don't just supply products, they deliver durable, high-performance solutions designed specifically to withstand and actually excel in our unique Canadian environments. And that is exactly the kind of strategic localized sourcing that removes operational friction for hoteliers.
By utilizing specialized, high-quality domestic partners like Omland, hotels dramatically improve the guest experience. And we all know that in today's digital landscape, a better guest experience yields better online reviews. Better reviews algorithmically drive higher occupancy rates. And higher occupancy, especially when it's supported by durable goods that you don't need to constantly replace, results in a much stronger overall financial performance. It's a chain reaction, really. Smart procurement literally becomes a revenue driver.
As we wrap up our look at the source material today, I want to share a quote that I think really hits the nail on the head. Choosing Canada is more than travel. It is an investment in economic growth, jobs, and industry strength. That beautifully recenters our whole narrative. Whether you're a corporate travel manager booking a huge national conference or a procurement director outfitting a brand new property, every dollar you keep in the country is a structural investment in the macroeconomy we all rely on.
It all boils down to this fundamental truth. When Canadian hospitality thrives, Canada grows. The multiplier effect absolutely guarantees it. The undeniable link between local sourcing, operational excellence, and nationwide employment proves it. This isn't just about putting heads in beds, it is about fueling a national economic powerhouse. So I want to leave you, the strategic leaders and decision-makers tuning in, with one final, provocative question regarding your own procurement and corporate travel strategies. Will you invest in Canada's growth? Thank you so much for taking the time to learn with me today on this explainer. I really hope you're walking away with a sharper, more strategic view of the domestic hospitality sector. Until next time, keep looking at the bigger picture.